Hi guys, welcome to episode 2 of You Got This, the takeaway edition. It's a little windy in the garden today, so I'm in my living room. Welcome to my living room. The question that I'm going to speak to today is another great one. How do I stop worrying about stuff that I can't change? Yeah, this is a really uncomfortable place to be. It's a total pickle. And in honor of this pickle that some of us find ourselves in, I'm wearing my pickle earrings. So what do? How do you stop worrying about stuff that you just can't change? The first thing I would say is notice that you're on the worry train in the first place. Anytime you're trying to change a behavior or a habit, you have to become aware of the fact that you're doing the thing in the first place in order to stop it. So notice that you're on the worry train. And the way that I would suggest you do this is get to know your tells. What does it feel like for you when you're on the worry train? Most of us will have a typical set of thought patterns or behaviors or physical sensations that go along with the worry train. For me, I'm a visual thinker, so I typically get images of increasing, disaster, and they just come faster and faster and faster at me, and they just get worse and worse and worse, and it's just horrible. That's my quickest tell for me knowing that I'm on the worry train. So get to know your tells. What does it feel like? Do you frown? Do you clench your jaw? Do your shoulders end up around your ears? Do your guts churn? Does your heart pound? How does it feel for you? How do you know that you're on the worry train? Once you are aware that you're on the worry train, the next thing I would say is interrupt the thought that's driving the train and then challenge it. So if we use this train metaphor, imagine the thing that you're worried about the most is the engine on the train. That's what's creating all that power and pulling you down that track. So challenge that thought. Shut off the engine, basically. So for me, I'll use an example from my life. I'm pretty good about getting off the worry train now, but one place where I can still tend to get on it is my husband plays hockey, and he's been injured a couple of times playing hockey. And so if he's late coming home from hockey, I start to worry about, oh my God, what's happened? He's a goalie, so I worry about head injuries, I worry about limb injuries. He's busted his knees a couple of times. So for me, the way that I interrupt the worry train is I challenge the thought. Can I know for sure that he's been hurt, that he's laying on the ice bleeding, or his knees falling off or something? Can I know for sure? No, I can't know for sure. Can you know with 100% certainty that what you're worried about is actually going to happen? Usually the answer is no. Once I've been able to interrupt the thought and challenge it, shut off the engine of the train, the train slows down, and then you're left in this kind of limbo land. You were on the train, you're not sure, something's happened, maybe it has, maybe it hasn't. So this is a place where you have to be willing to tread water. Now I'm mixing my metaphors a little bit, but hopefully you can stick with me. When there's nothing you can do to change this thing that you're worried about, and you don't even know if the thing that you're worrying about has even happened, you have to be willing to kind of stay in the present moment and ask yourself, is there anything I can do right now? What can I control in this situation? There was this Buddhist kind of badass guy from the 13th century named Shantideva. And when I go down the rabbit hole, I try and remember Shantideva's words. He said, if there's something you can do about it, why worry? And if there's nothing you can do about it, why worry? And usually the only thing you can control are your own thoughts. Now what do I do? Be willing to tread water. Be willing to wait until you can do something about it, to deal with it. This is really about stepping off of the train altogether. But now you're in this land where you still have some of the physical sensations that go along with it, and there's nothing you can really do. You have to be willing to do nothing. It's uncomfortable, but it's not as uncomfortable as the worry train. The worry train is a habit. And so what you'll find is you'll stop the train, you'll interrupt the thought and challenge it and start to feel, okay, that feels better. The second you sort of, your attention wanders or your focus wanders a little bit, you'll be right back on that worry train. You'll start to feel that anxious feeling coming back in, and you'll think, why am I feeling anxious? Oh, right, Craig's not home from hockey yet. And then poof, you're back on the worry train. And so you're going to have to do this over and over again, because the worry train is a habit. And so your brain has created this shortcut. So that's where it goes. When it's not sure what it wants to do, that's where it's going to go. And so you have to keep coming back. It's a little bit of a, back and forth, back and forth. Keep noticing you're on the worry train, interrupt and challenge the thought, and then stay in that, be willing to tread water in that limbo land of not knowing for sure what's going to happen. And then the last thing I would say is remind yourself that you've got this. Everything the universe has thrown at you up until this point, you've dealt with. So remind yourself that you got this. No matter what, you've got this. Go and stand in front of the mirror, look yourself in the eye, and tell yourself, you got this, sweetheart. You got this. And they've actually shown, there was somebody did a study a number of years ago where they showed that using the third person, you got this, instead of I've got this, actually works better. So speak to yourself in the third person, like you're a friend speaking to yourself. Hey, sweetheart, you got this. Don't worry about it. So yeah, that's what I would suggest. Notice that you're on the train, interrupt and challenge the thought, be willing to tread water, and remind yourself, you got this. I hope you found that helpful. Keep your questions coming. And if you've enjoyed this video series, follow me on YouTube. I've got a YouTube channel, and like my Facebook page, all that fun stuff. And I will see you next time. Thanks. Till next time. Thanks. That was stupid. And, I've already done this. I'm done.